Starting off strong, we have January. I spent $783,000 in January.
How much have you spent since you worked at Amber Marie?
$6,000. 13? No.
Lexi, how much are you spending at Disney today?
$50.
So across many of the debt videos that I've uploaded on this channel, one of the common issues many people have is that they just don't know enough about their finances. And what I mean by that is the amount of money coming in and the amount that's going out. Just saying that sounds ridiculous to me, but from what we're going to see in this video, I guess it's more common than you think. Some people just don't care about it at all, or they have a number in their head that they think they spend every month, and they don't actually want to see the truth. And that in turn becomes an overspending problem, which is then amplified by the consumeristic society along with social media today. I mean, trends and relatable posts showing how much money people are spending or think that they spend at a specific store, and most of the time it's more. Those videos gain a whole bunch of attention, and then other people want to do the exact same thing to get that attention too. So we have many clips to go over, many different examples along with some comments from you guys. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave it in the comments down below. But we're going to start off with a recent trend showing how much money employees actually spend at their work, and it ends up getting pretty crazy.
How much have you spent since you worked at Amber Marie?
$6,000. 13? No. There's no way. My gosh, I'm in trouble. You earned it. You earned it. Don't tell my husband. What was Valerie's?
Around 20,000.
Still want to stay married, okay? So bad.
7,000. Uh-oh. I'm in deep trouble, folks. Thank you very much. I need this money back. 1,500?
Wow. I am shocked. Let's don't talk about that.
I've only been here 6 months. I would say probably maybe 7,000. Oh, well, I'm pretty close. Okay, well, I like to support small businesses. My husband or my daughter, but it's fun working here.
2 years to
2 years to 2 years.
So, who's the better customer here? Just asking.
Yeah, you're more loyal than I am.
Oh man, this is going to be a long video. The amount of time that you spend working at these stores, retail stores, which overall most people don't like to do, including myself, taking all that money earned for your time there and putting it right back into the store. The other thing we're definitely going to see throughout these clips is one of the big reasons for divorce. You heard both of them making a joke, oh, don't tell my husband. But one of the big reasons for divorce now today is financial problems, money problems. Them spending almost $40,000 at their job and thinking that it was way less. Trying to hide it from your spouse is not going to end well at all. Even if you start comparing other people in the clip, the woman who worked there for 5 years and only spent $3,200 still thought that she only spent $1,500, still twice the amount. This is what happens when you're not paying attention and you're not on top of your finances. And then of course at the end, them laughing it off, oh, you're more loyal because you spent almost $40,000, ha ha ha. This could get really bad very quickly.
Guess how much you spent?
Since 2020.
Since 2020, I've spent $875.
$10,200.
Pretty close.
I almost said 10.5.
$61.28.
Okay, go and look.
It's easy and I like it.
No f***ing way.
Yeah.
18,000.
Oh.
You made money, girl math.
Oh, probably $150.
Okay, go ahead and look.
20. What?
Got probably about 3,000.
Okay.
Oh, I was wrong. Must be around 20.
Oh, wow.
$4,500.
Oh boy, that's close.
Yeah.
1,500. Probably 1,500.
Oh.
1,400. No.
I'd say about 25. Just a little off.
Now this video alone, I've seen a couple comments from you guys. I haven't gone over it because I don't have a ton of knowledge, and I know it's a very touchy subject on YouTube about it, but this was a gun shop and people spend so much money on not even just a whole bunch of different guns, but every single little attachment, and then it turns into a guy spending $35,000 thinking that he spent $25,000. There was a guy who thought he spent $1,400 and spent $14,000. So I mean, this could be a very easy way to get yourself into debt overspending like this, but with how YouTube works right now, it's very touchy. I've seen a whole bunch of those channels get demonetized for basically no reason, but it definitely seems to be a problem with some people. We can look at the comments. 32,000. This video made me add up everything in my safe. Never again. The guy mad at $300 would be me. I think he said it was like $67, so still almost 5 times more what he thought, even though if you want to compare it 300 to 30,000 or 15, 20,000 we saw, really doesn't seem that bad, but it's still overspending. They really estimated their own discount. This trend really does show a little bit more into the mentality of some of these employees, because of course some discounts could be terrible and not worth it, but some could be really solid. And in the same way, you see blowout sale, 50% off everything. It makes you think in your mind that you're getting a good deal, so you're going to end up spending more, especially in the long run if you're there 8 hours a day. So do people not just know about their own finances or what? Well, what we're going to see throughout this video, it's a pretty true statement. But we have a comment from you guys from the Till Debt Do Us Part video. How is it possible to be overspending by that much? Because almost every couple in that show thought that they were spending way less than they actually were. I don't know. I feel like I'm just more meticulous about the numbers, looking at the bank accounts all the time, how much money I'm spending, how much is coming in, but some people are just not like that, I guess.
All right, earned. What's we made?
I think like 50,000. Okay. Whoa, way more than I thought. Okay. 6,000. Oh. 300. A 1,000. The frick? 15,000. 7,000. 1,300. 2,000.
I mean, just by this clip, you could see how wildly off all of the numbers are, either way over or way under. And this is exactly how overspending starts, because she didn't even know her actual income. She guessed 50. It was still above that, but I feel like having just a basic knowledge. I know some people argue they don't want to obsess about money and how much is coming in and going out, because then maybe you become materialistic and you only care about money 24/7. I don't want that to be my entire life, but on the opposite end, we see people in copious amounts of debt because they just don't pay attention at all, and they'll just keep swiping the credit card and paying the minimum payments and just snowballing the debt into something insane.
A lot of people don't want to admit this about their spending habits, but the real reason why you feel you don't have enough money is because you're overspending and you don't know when to stop. You're putting impulsive purchases on buy now pay later and credit card. A $20 Amazon purchase is not a lot, but it really does add up if you don't think about and look at your purchase history, and one day you open your credit card bill and you're like, how did I spend $2,000? I'm not discouraging you guys to not buy stuff, because I personally love buying things, but when it comes to stuff that I don't need, I always wait 2 days before buying the item.
And because it is so easy to purchase anything now, it's not just seeing something in the store anymore, it's on your phone. You get ads for it nonstop, notifications, and within a day or two, it could be at your house. You don't even see the money coming in and out because your credit card's already saved onto these websites. And then in the long run, you have a lot less money to spend on your actual necessities. And with the cost of living being so difficult right now, it's not like if you just stop buying all the random crap that everybody would be rich and there'd be no problems anymore, but it is definitely a factor making things worse for some people. And with that Amazon comment now, especially in today's Amazon 2025, we have a comment from you guys: never overspending on quality items, always bulk garbage. Why? If you have looked on Amazon recently, it is starting to turn into an American Temu, a lot of just really low quality crap that you most likely don't even need and won't last, but it's just so quick having that impulsivity of buying it, you don't even have to think, and then boom, it's there the next day. Now here we have another trend that's piggybacked onto the first clip, but it's the we listen and we don't judge. I've talked about it a little bit on the relationship side of TikTok on my second channel, but this one they just end up showing how much they spent at the cafeteria in a hospital.
1. We listen and we don't judge.
We listen and we don't judge.
Listen and we don't judge. We 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 listen and we do judge.
Wait, could you zoom in on that part?
So I do think this is different than the boutiques or retail stores or the gun shop, because you're doing 12-hour shifts in hospitals, most likely exhausted. So it's a lot easier just going down to the cafeteria, which most of the time has decent stuff. I mean, at least when I was in a couple hospitals, they were nicer. Maybe they're worse in other areas. And none of these were too over the top other than the last one, $4,000. But it is still a contributing factor. Just chipping away at your finances, something you don't really realize. Day in, day out, grinding through these 12-hour shifts. Obviously, you're going to be getting meals throughout the year, and then at the end of the year, you realize that maybe you lost a couple $1,000s. Again, I do definitely think it's different than the boutiques where you're just buying clothes or knickknacks or any of the gun stuff with the attachments or whatever they were buying, but not being on top of your finances and not knowing could still hurt you.
So we know how much you guys made, $7,400 after everything together. What did you guys spend?
$4,000.
3,500 was going to be my guess.
3,500 together. When I add a 1 at the front of that,
I'm sorry?
$13,000, guys.
Oh,
Are you fucking kidding me?
This is crazy.
It's working so far.
It's not. The situation's getting worse.
Wasn't it Christmas time?
It was, but you didn't have money, so I don't give a regardless.
I'm bad with Christmas.
Yeah.
But if I don't buy her presents, he won't really buy her anything that she actually wants. He'll just get her random crap that's cheap.
Also, half the unknown shopping was Amazon.
Oh, that's me.
I mean, I don't even know what to say. We could just look at the comments. Spending $13,000 a month is one thing, but thinking you only spent $3,500 is wild. It's so far off the mark that I feel like they have to know and they're just lying about it. But the excuse, not being able to control yourself during Christmas, goes along with a comment from you guys on the Valentine's Day overconsumption video that I made. As someone who's obsessed with the color pink and heart-shaped objects, I keep that stuff around all year. I could so easily go overboard, but I tend to just avoid the stores nowadays until Valentine's Day is over so I don't get the temptation to overspend. I'm glad that she does that, but that's definitely not the case for a majority of people, and that's how you think you spend $3,500 but actually spent $10,000 more in 1 month. But we could start going over to the other trends and the relatable posts, and let's just record how much money I spend every year, because the higher the number, the more attention it gets online. Then I'll get more followers and more likes, and then in turn more money, and then we just have a whole slew of videos like these that are just ridiculous.
All right, let's find out my 2024 yearly wrap on my credit cards. Starting off strong, we have January. I spent $783,000 in January. Well, let me explain. It's because I had bought this apartment and I got like all new furniture, and there was just like a lot of fees that I had to pay, and like taxes and all that stuff. February, I spent $51,492, which isn't bad. For March, I spent $90,281, which isn't bad because I did go to Miami. I went to Ultra for like all 3 days. For April, I did really good, $45,283.
Okay, we're just going to end it there. She goes through the rest of the months. You could get the gist. It's just going to be annoying. But now it's cool to show how much you spend. Even though it looks like she is super rich, whether you like it or not, it makes everybody else on social media try to compete with each other, because the bigger the number, the crazier the story, the more attention it gets. I mean, starting off with almost $800,000 spent in a month and being so nonchalant and saying that $45,000 a month is doing really good. You know, I didn't spend a lot of money. You wonder why these types of overspending and debt videos are never ending online. But we have even more saying how much you're going to spend at a specific place, and of course it being more than you thought.
How much are you going to spend today? $0. How much money are you going to spend today? $0. How much money are you going to spend? $0.
Cover, how much are you spending at Disney today?
I'll spend probably like $300.
How much are you spending today?
$98.62.
SJ, how much are you spending?
$72.72.
How much are you spending?
$0.
Lexi, how much are you spending at Disney today?
$50.
The comments don't make it much better. $0. I spent $629 yesterday. I spent $453. It's crazy that almost everything seems like a competition online now. Now we could head over to some of the credit card apps. I don't know specifically every single card that will do this, but we're starting to see some spending wraps with Chase Bank. So if you really wanted to be more hands-on with your finances and use one single credit card for everything so you'd be able to track it, it's a lot easier than a pen and paper and writing everything down. You could start looking into apps like this.
Now that you've looked at your Spotify Wrapped for the year, take a look at your Chase Spending Wrapped for some pain. Did I want to see the gory details of every single category that I'm spending in and how much I spent in that category? No, but could I stop clicking through all of it? I couldn't. So here's to focusing on our financial goals in 2025.
And I think many people just don't want to see how much they're actually spending on each one of these categories because most likely people will end up feeling bad about it. I mean, you can look at the caption. I wish I never found this tab on my bank app at JP Morgan. Please remove immediately. I know this is more of a lighthearted post. It's not somebody actually spending so much money and being angry that you could see it in front of their face. But many people just think like that in today's world.
There is no flex in overpaying for something. There's no flex in saying that, oh, I'll never fly Spirit Airlines. Oh, I'll never fly Southwest. I'll only fly for... Why the hell are you bragging about spending $900 on airfare that you could have gotten for $65?
Because doing that kind of stuff online, even though it seems so pretentious and out of touch with a majority of people who are actually watching that content, it still somehow works. And then in turn makes those normal people watching that video try to act like the person they're watching. It's a vicious cycle that I don't know if it'll ever stop.
Marley, how much money do you think you've spent since you worked here?
Like 800 bucks.
Nope. Taylor, how much money do you think you've spent since you've worked here?
Probably enough to put a down payment on a car. Like a decent down payment.
Look.
Decent down payment on a car. Decent down payment on a car. Wait.
How much money do you think you've spent since you've worked here?
$100. $100.
Look at it.
Can we highlight this right here?
And I think this adds on top of a comment from you guys. On my doom spending video, stop giving it a cutesy name, it's just overspending. You could put these types of trends in that category as well. And like the second person in that video said, a down payment for a car. It was about $3,100, almost $3,200 she said she spent. It's not like it's a massive amount of money, but I think anybody would like to have an extra $3,100 in their bank account right now.
It's not even about budgeting. You don't know what your fucking paycheck is?
No. I mean, typically, it's...
How do you not know what a paycheck is?
I know what a paycheck is.
How do you not know what your paycheck is? Because that's like your time that you're putting, your effort, your energy. You're getting contractually rewarded with it. You're putting in your time. You get the money in return. How would you not know what hits your account on a monthly basis?
It goes into a shared account, and my stub just goes into what I call the graveyard. So...
Why did you call it that?
Because all of my stubs from like the entire time that I've worked there is in the graveyard.
It's the paper pay stubs that she's talking about. She puts them in her desk.
Okay. All right.
So this is another person not even knowing their income for their job. Apparently it goes to the graveyard, which I bet if you open that desk and saw how many stubs were there, you'd start to realize how much time was lost working at your job. But this could have the exact same argument. I don't even want to know how much comes in. I don't want to be obsessed with money, yada, yada, yada. But if you don't know what's coming in, you have no idea even if you're getting ripped off or not. Maybe you're making significantly less than you thought, especially with the prices of everything going up. And if you're not paying attention, you could be trading hours of your life away for less than you're worth. I don't know. This kind of stuff is just depressing to me because I feel like these are the stepping stones to people never being able to retire, working until they're dead, and always being stressed and not ahead and not being able to afford a home or start a family, anything like that.
So I've been saying for weeks, okay, I need to like buckle down. I need to stop blowing money on food and drinks and things like that because I need to save my money. Christmas is coming up. Like I have a bunch of stuff I have to pay for. What do? Guess how much a latte was? $12.88. I was like, in this economy, are you crazy? Like, okay, if anybody sees me out in the world
and I have my card in my hand, I want you to punch me in the face. Like, I'm so done with like everything that I do, because everything I do is just like bad at this point.
So she knew it was bad after the fact, but not enough to not do it in the first place, and then also make a TikTok talking about that bad decision. People will post absolutely everything about their life online. It's just very odd. But we have another comment from you guys. I've actually stopped overspending in part because of the content you make. I know that there's whole dedicated channels on YouTube of people who were previous shopping addicts. They were overspending and of course going into debt because of it. And they have a whole bunch of de-influencing videos and talking about quality items instead of quantity. So hopefully these videos could help some of you out if you do have the same problem as well. But here we have another clip that I think goes well with this channel for a couple different reasons, because she does say stuff that I think is true, but at the same time in that influencer, guru, coaching type of space, which is just full of scams and wasting money on courses that you really don't need. But we could take a look.
Why can't I stop spending money? I'm a spending coach and I work with women and I help them stop impulse shopping and overspending. And this is by far the most common question that I get from my students. And if you were like, yes, please help me, start by giving me a follow. And you can also start with the free training in my bio. There's a lot of different answers to this one question. One major reason, which this comes from consumer culture, is we have all been programmed to believe that products and services have the power and have the ability to deliver an emotional experience to us. And this is so powerful because really when you're buying something, you're not actually buying the product. What you're really buying is the promise of a future emotional state that you want to feel, that you think that the product has the ability to deliver to you.
Okay, so I do agree with that. The feeling of getting out of your Porsche Cayenne Turbo every time you go to the gym or the grocery store or wherever, and everybody could see that you're in a super nice, expensive car. Same thing with any of the purses, the Louis Vuitton. I mean, a lot of the materialistic stuff in society. It's supposed to make you feel good, even though it has diminishing returns. But the other part of this video is like, why is there a coach for everything now? I thought coaches were for sporting events. Now it's a life coach and a spending coach and a relationship coach, and the same basic plug of the free course in bio, which gives you virtually no information. Any of the good stuff that they try to upcharge you is in some sort of paid course, which again, most of the time isn't really worth it in the end. But being an overspending coach and then telling all of your clients to spend money on you to tell them to not spend, I think is just amazing. But we'll finish off with this clip helping people to try to stop overspending.
Beginning of the year, I decided that 2024 was going to be a no shopping year for me, and since then, I've been able to pay off $12,000 of student loans. So if you find yourself impulse shopping or even just spending on things you don't need, here are some things that I've learned. The first thing is that you would not believe how much just taking a short pause alters your decisions. Every time I've wanted something this year, I just throw it on this list, and there's about $3,000 worth of stuff on here that I didn't buy and also don't want anymore. I also learned a lot about the Diderot effect. It's really similar to an object in motion staying in motion. A person who's shopping is going to continue shopping. So for the first few weeks of this, I was adding things to this list probably every day. But then by the time February hit, I felt like the fog had cleared and I stopped adding to this list. I didn't want anything.
We've seen this a couple times on this channel. I think it would work pretty well. People will put every single item they wanted from Amazon in their notes and do the exact same thing. Wait a couple days, wait a week, and see if you actually wanted the item. And the majority of the time, people didn't want it at the end of the day. It was just the impulse, wanting to have it immediately, and the convenience of the internet today. So just holding out for a couple days could save you a ton of money, along with tracking your finances much better, of course, if you use a specific credit card that has that on the app or other applications. I know Rocket Money, this isn't sponsored. There are many other budgeting apps as well that could end up saving you a whole ton of money if you don't realize that you're actually spending way more than you thought you did. But that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.